One, this is an exciting time because this case, the friendship case that everybody asked me about, is coming to light. And I was very much involved in it, of course, because it was in Italy. The case, now remember, if you're looking at geopolitical, was 1956 to like 1966. It was a 10-year case, and it was an experiment. It was an experiment to see if 10 or more Italians could communicate and deal with these beings that came from, we're not sure where. I think they came from a federation. These beings were human type. They were anywhere from 3 feet to over, and there's actually a photograph of one of them. You can see it as shadow walking down the street to 10 to 15 feet. The name of the case, the name of the book is called Mass Contacts, and it was written by Stefano Brescia, who was a scientist. And Stefano, I had known him for many, many years, and they waited until most of the people that were involved in 1956 were either gone or underground, because this was a real case. Stefano even met some of these beings. These beings agreed to be, as part of an experiment, to live in Rocca Pia, which is on the Adriatic coast near Pescara, in a castle, and they were subsidized by Bruno Samaciccia. Now, Bruno had money, so he could ship ship huge amounts of fruits and vegetables for them to eat, modify beds, modify their lodging, and this is all attested by many, many, many people. This case is also important because if you study who was involved, and their pictures are there, it was involved with some cardinals from the Vatican, with Console Perago, that we know was involved with human type aliens. He was also involved with Adamski. So we have some personages in Italy who know this was real. What interests me is the reaction and the results of an experiment to try to keep a friendship with humans. Now, when I went to Lake Como in 2013 to interview the man that just died now, Gaspare di Lama, and he's all over the internet because every Italian interviewed him. The problem is, probably for you people, is that all the interviews are in Italian. However, Gaspare told me that he and his wife were invited to be part of this friendship group. I couldn't believe that women were involved too. She talked about it also. And they would communicate via crystal radios. And sometimes they would meet. The bases were two, one in the Adriatic coast, and the fishermen were scared to go out there. I talked to some of the journalists. I talked to the people that were around then, and they said they were scared to death because these tunnels of water would come out of the water, and they couldn't fish. So the thing is that in 56 and 57, we had giant rock in Southern California. We had Eugenio Siracusa on the island of Sicily. There was mass contacts all over the world of human type beings. Now, the fishermen couldn't go out, but they took a lot of photos. If you study the friendship case, or if you happen to get 50 years of Amicizia, which is on Amazon, you'll see some of the photos. There are also movies involved. Unfortunately, the only YouTube video that was in English was taken down. So, and it was very detailed. It showed movies, it showed photos of the people involved. It was taken down for some reason, the only one in English. So I will try my very, very best in the future to fill in the blanks. Now, what you need to know was that the deal was that these beings, all from 3 feet to 10 feet to, and there's a drawing of them. I'll share a screen. I'll do a share screen. Is they were told that they could communicate and try to live with the humans, provided the humans did not fight among themselves. And if you can imagine, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like the message of the day the earth stood still. If you people are fighting among yourselves, why in the world would we come and visit you? And the experiment lasted for at least 10 years. And then, of course, the humans started to argue among themselves. I talked to Gaspare di Lama, who was at that time 93. He just died, and that was 10 years ago. So he died at 103. And I talked to Paolo Di Girolamo. Paolo Di Girolamo was involved too as an artist. He insists that a lot of the things that went on came into the Hollywood situation out of this, that Hollywood was involved in some of this. What I'd like to hear you give you in this very short video is the voice of Sigir. Sigir is one of the W56s, and basically he is talking to humanity. So listen to this, and you'll see, you'll hear.
Alcune di queste comunicazioni sono anche registrate con gli apparecchi a bobina allora esistenti. Gaspare ne possiede ancora qualcuna. Dopo tanti anni, per la prima volta, è resa pubblica la voce del W56.
Cari amici, cari figlioli, sia chiaro che di noi, poiché nessuno tra noi vacillerà. Voi siate uniti, 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 e sopportate le vostre debolezze reciproche, lottando e migliorando come uomini e come nostri cari amici. Il nostro mondo per voi cari non è facile a capire. Questo è naturale, ma con l'effetto della fiducia potrete ugualmente stare vicino ai nostri cuori aperti.
Italian, and I can put this on my YouTube channel also, because my interview with Gaspare di Lama is in Lake Como in his house. I'm trying to translate. Go to YouTube. What CGR said is remain united, united, united. It's the same message that we keep getting, whether it was Robert Short at Giant Rock or the channeling that Phyllis Schlemmer did, the end of separation, or, or even any kind of message is remain united. And what he's saying in Italian, and that was an alien, a human type alien saying in Italian. CG is really funny because he makes mistakes in Italian. He's trying to speak to the Italians. He said, it's very difficult for you to understand us. He said, but you are evolving. You are evolving. And what you need to do is join us because we have you in our hearts. So it is a group of people, no matter what they look like. And the story is really interesting because Bruno Sammachicha, that subsidized this whole thing, had to buy truckloads of fruits and vegetables. He talks about it in the book. And they were teleported to the castle in Roccapia. I mean, the guy that was the driver went into a bar, and when he came out of after having his coffee, he was shocked. There's nothing in the truck. So they used advanced technologies, these people, in 1956. So what were they called? W56s. So what are these people called? W56s. What was the reason for that? The W is two V's, which is victory. W is two V's, so victory 56. I don't think you can really call people that come from somewhere else a name that nobody ever heard of. So, even if they said it was another planet, we never even hear of it because we didn't name it. So the thing is, the W56s of the 1956 amicizia or friendship case is really interesting. They had a technology called Ureda. And if you read the books, 50 Years of Friendship, you'll find out that Ureda is the technology they had for harmony. not love. I mean, love is being thrown around left and right, and everybody's idea of love, even the ET's idea of love, is all different. But harmony is something else. So when Sigir says unite, 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 he means, hey, you guys, we can be with you as long as your vibration is harmonious. You don't fight among each other. Don't worry about how you feel about us. It is not harmonious towards us. It is because I think talking to Gaspar, they were just in awe of these people. They were in awe of the spirituality of these people in 1956. So it wasn't that kind of relationship. It was, they were saying, CG, Kenyo, and the rest of them were saying to the humans, the Italians, hey, if you guys can be harmonious and work together, then we can work with you. We'll tell you what we need. And they needed some products, some minerals for their propulsion system. So they were also mining. Apart from the fact they had two bases, one off the Adriatic coast and one inside the land mass there. If you see, unfortunately, the one in English is gone. So they've got you going to, I think, Amazon Prime for the Amicizia case in English. And I think it's worth looking at because it really happened. It definitely really happened. I'm not surprised that the Vatican was involved. I'm not surprised they knew about it. You have to think about what you were doing in 1956 if you were even around. What were you doing in 1953 when Adamski met Orthon in Desert Center? I mean, the contact started way back when, especially with these kinds of people. So I let you hear the voice of Sigir, one of the, and I think you can get it somehow if you do proper research. I'm going to share the screen right now so that I can, look at the Amicizia folder and show you a few photos of what I did with the friendship case. Here is the book. It's very difficult to read, by Stefano Brescia. That is a real photo of one of the ETs from the friendship case. Stefano, before he died, left me everything. The only conference he ever did was Michael Sala's conference in Hawaii, and he gave me the DVDs. I have 2 voice recordings of the beings and a lot of photos that he left me. Okay, this case is the friendship case in Chile. This man I talked to because this man has already died. This is Octavio Ortiz, because they were approached by human type aliens. They said they were Germanic looking in the 1970s, the island of Chiloé. And he was invited with his family, again, to be part of this. This is Santiago, Chile, the friendship case. Here we go again. This is Gaspare di Lama. And all the Italian researchers really interviewed him. Here I'm interviewing him on Lake Como with his wife. It's on my YouTube channel. Very few people are going to my YouTube channel. But if you want to see what, if you want to see what he told me, and by the way, Gaspare, what he did was he translated that audio. So if you can get this and do translate, you'll find out what Sigir said. Sigir was one of the ETs. It's very, very important. Here's Gaspare on Lake Como. Everybody in the world went to interview him because they knew it was real. Here he is in Italy with other researchers. Here he is with another researcher on Lake Como. He gave out so much testimony. I'm interviewing another one of the people from the friendship case. He no longer is with us either. He was an artist. And he said that the beings used to deliver letters by letting them fall from the air. And he used to pick them up and read them. And that was his way of, here I am in Rome interviewing him in person. And that was his way of dealing with it. So, of course, I've got a tape recorder. Of course, I'm trying, everybody's interested in this case. Here I am, talking to Robert Dean about it. And here I am in Chile talking to Octavio Ortiz. The interesting part about the Chilean case, when I went to interview Octavio Ortiz, was that Octavio told me that he had a dream the night before I did the interview, and it also is on my YouTube channel, and he dreamt my face. So somebody told him I was coming, and I want to reiterate, my only job is to record this. This is the tallest of the amicitia. This is the shortest, and these are beings from that case. Now, I would like to encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, because I not only interviewed the people from Friendship, the people from Chilean Friendship, I interviewed all the giant rock survivors, because I'm trying to put together messages from ETs. So may I encourage you to do the research from the original people, not, I mean, you know, when I look at YouTube and everything, they say these people were abducted. They were never abducted. They were contacted. And so in the 50s, a whole bunch of contactees have a lot to give you. So please go and do the research yourself, put it in a file, and connect the dots.